Over the past 9 months, we have traveled the globe, covering 4 continents, gathering and collecting the 15 best riders on the Longines Global Champions Tour. From the start of the season in Doha to Mexico, Shanghai, Europe, Africa, and all the way to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia for the final. Now all roads lead to Prague. All roads lead to the O2 Arena, to tonight's Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. It is a sellout crowd, as you would expect. 1.25 million euros on the line, and a shot at immortality. A shot at becoming a 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix winner. The ask is huge. The best of the best from the entire season all come together here tonight. Who then walks away this evening as the new champion of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix? One name that dominated the headlines and dominated the highlights throughout the entire season was, in fact, our 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour season winner. And that man is how we start the show off tonight, with the incredible season that has been, in fact, the Rider of the Year, crowned earlier on this week. No surprises. We welcome Gilles Thomas into the studio. Gilles, it has been an amazing season. You and I have talked about that at length. How does it feel after the season you've had to come to this, arguably the biggest stage of the season? Talk to me about how you're feeling tonight.
Yeah, I'm very excited for tonight, actually for the whole week. It's some show here, it's so much atmosphere in this arena. So yeah, really looking forward to ride tonight's Grand Prix.
Talk to me about lessons that maybe could be taken out of yesterday's Global Champions League Super Cup semi-final. It was a tough night. We saw a lot of the top riders compete in that semi. You were one of the riders to jump yesterday. Is there anything that you can take out of that? Is there anything helpful for tonight's Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix that you can learn from yesterday?
Oh yeah, it's a smaller ring, so everything comes very quick. So I think you really need to be very concentrated, very focused from fence number 1, because if something goes wrong, then a lot can happen. So I think yeah, it's because it comes so quick here. You really need to be very focused in this ring.
You had a sensational appearance in the LGCT Super Grand Prix last year, getting onto the podium. It was arguably the start of the Gilles Thomas rocket that we've been watching. Take me back to 2024. Take me back to the difference in jumping in a Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix versus what we see on a normal stage basis. What do you recall of that week?
Yeah, in the Super Grand Prix is the 15 best riders of the season against each other, and I think yeah, there's a lot of prize money to win, so everyone is in his best shape possible at that moment. So yeah, it's a nice class to ride, and tough enough always.
How much of a difference does the format make, Gilles? We're used to a round 1 and into a jump-off. For those unaware tonight, we'll talk about the format later, but it is essentially 2 back-to-back rounds. There is no shorter jump-off. It is going to be a whole second round. How much does that affect things? How much of a difference is that compared to what we normally see?
Yeah, I think the first round will be a bit the same as a normal Grand Prix round, but then the second round, it's not a jump-off, but a second round, so will be again a long and difficult course. So I think we don't need to ride as fast as a normal jump-off in the second round, but okay, it will depend from how many clears there will be in the first round. But yeah, like I said, it's a very difficult ring here, so I think the most important today will be to leave the fences up.
Do you feel that tonight can be won with fences down? Normally in a normal LGCT Grand Prix, we look for double clears to win it. Is a double clear in an extreme situation like this realistic? Or can there be a champion with a fence down?
Oh yeah, you never know, but I think to win you have to ride double clear today, because yeah, like I said, the 15 best riders and hosts from the season. Everyone is very motivated, so they will perform on their best level. So I think to win, you have to ride double clear today.
Talk to me about Calista. We've given Calista so much praise over the last year. She has been so incredible, jumping as if she is a seasoned veteran. Talk to me about waking up this morning, how was Calista? How did she feel? What's the energy been like?
Yeah, I choose today to ride Calista in the Grand Prix. We are also here with the team, with Valkenswaard. I have also Hermitage here. I took Hermitage for the team. They jumped good yesterday. We qualified for the final. So that's why I will ride Calista today in a Super Grand Prix. Why? Because I think last year I rode already once Hermitage in the Super Grand Prix. I was second there, so now I want to try it with Calista. She's also in incredible good shape. The only thing, she's only 9, so she has not so much experience, especially in indoors like this. But yeah, she's a very fast horse, so let's hope we can leave the fences up, and then we will see.
I think you're going to be a very big threat tonight. Gilles Thomas, best of luck this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour winner for the season comes in tonight in red-hot form with the sensational 9-year-old of Calista. One of the favorites to look out for without a shadow of a doubt. Let's take a moment to reflect on the season of all of the golden ticket winners and those moments that brought them here tonight to Prague to compete in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix.
This is our home here, the Longines Arena at LGCT, for what is going to be a fascinating opening leg. But now Abdul Said comes in. A win here is magnificent. Wow. Emanuele Camilli, and Italy's Emanuele Camilli wins his very first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. What a superb win. Scott Brash. 1-1 on the clock to beat it, and I think he's ahead. And Scott Brash wins the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Shanghai. It's a stunning exhibition.
Marco Kutscher. Here we go, now. What a surprise winner here in Madrid. So committed to the sport.
Harry Smolders. Oh my word, it's brilliant. And our congratulations, the double season champion in yesteryears. He wins. Jérôme Guéry now sets sail for the final fence here in Ramateur Saint-Tropez for the first double clear of the afternoon. Gilles Thomas is away. Gilles Thomas is going to win the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of Paris this afternoon. It's brilliant. And Smolders enters Cayman Jolly Jumper. Cayman picks up a big stride to the last. Takes off a mile away. The 8th golden ticket to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix in Prague.
14.79. Is it to be for Christian Kukuk? Can he get there? Yes, he can. A special moment for them all. Nicolas Philippart comes to the last. He finishes second. Nicolas Philippart, along with his golden ticket to the playoffs and finals.
Ping Pong van der Lentemelk is into the arena, ridden by Gerrit Nyberg. That was a very smooth round. One of the young guns of German show jumping, Gerrit Nyberg. Thibaut Philippart, galloping hard and fast to the final fence, takes it, it's clear, and he's inside the dive. Wow!
Second last in our jump off, Philip Whitehead. He's gone into the lead. That's an extraordinary performance. Beautiful trophy.
Gregory Cotard is coming into the arena and jumps the last and is into the lead.
It's Anastasia Nielsen now, at 19 years of age, to jump a double clear. A historic moment, becomes the youngest ever winner on the LGCT Tour in its history.
So many remarkable moments throughout the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour season, and that is what brings us to this list. The golden ticket winners, the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix qualifiers. Name, venue, and take a look at that on the far column, how many times they've been able to compete in this incredible competition. Christian Kukuk makes his 4th appearance in a Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Nicolas Philippart has been here 3 times, while Philip Weishout will come for the 2nd time. Gerrit Nieberg winning in Riesenbach, Thibaut Philipparts from New York, Gregory Cotin and the young Anastasia Nielsen all on debut here tonight in Prague. But the debuts don't just stop there. In fact, it gets even longer on the second page of the LGCT Super Grand Prix qualifiers. A lot of new faces that make their first appearance here in Prague at this stage on the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Harry Smolders has now competed, or will at least be competing, in his fifth GC playoffs. A remarkable number for Harry Smolders, who, alongside Monaco tonight, is the favorite for many people. But with Gilles Thomas, with Christian Kuckuck, with Philipp Weishaupt, with Abdel Said, there are a lot of riders that have the opportunity to go on and get on top of the podium tonight. This is not going to be a simple deduction. This is not going to be an easy sum to make, because all of these riders on this list have the right to say that they certainly are, without a shadow of a doubt, in for the running for tonight's major prize. I remind you that there's 1.25 million euros up for grabs later on tonight as well. Let's peel back the curtain. Let's take you backstage and let's show you what it looks like as these 15 riders stand by and get ready to be welcomed and introduced into the sellout O2 Arena. Dan Strange standing by for us with the Walk of Champions.
We're in the tunnel here ahead of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix of 2025. The Walk of Champions is about to take place. Abdel Said here, who won the first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of 2025 on Bonami all the way back in February. He looks confident. No one in the 15-rider lineup has ever won a Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. We have 7 debutants this evening from the 15 riders. We have 1 female rider, that's Anastasia Nielsen. She won a course in Rabat just a couple of stages ago. She's also the youngest rider in the lineup. In 2024, Gilles Thomas finished second. There are many riders within the lineup who have competed at multiple Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix, but we will have a first-time winner this evening because none of the 15 have ever won at this level before. Can Gilles Thomas win both the Longines Global Champions Tour Championship and the LGCT Super Grand Prix? We wait to see. The tension in the tunnel ahead of the Walk of Champions is immense. It's going to be a massive night of action. 2 rounds, not at 1.60 meters, but at 1.65 meters. And only 1 horse and 1 rider can come out on top with 1.25 million euros in the prize pot. Here at the GC Prague Playoffs 2025, it's time for the Walk of Champions ahead of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix.
Welcome to the Walk of Champions here for the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix, as we welcome in the 15 riders who will assemble in tonight's Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix at the Prague O2 Arena. My name is Ed Holloway. It's wonderful to have your company. It's going to be a sensational evening, I can promise you.
Please welcome the riders victorious in Doha, qualified on Bon Ami, he took part in the Olympic Games in Tokyo 2025, representing
The battle
Belgium.
commenced in Doha for leg 1 back in late February and early March. And this man, he won it last year, the same leg in Doha, and it was a famous double. Abdel Said won the first golden ticket with Bon Ami. He clinched leg 1, the victory in Doha for Abdel Said and Bon Ami, the first one to enter the Walk of Champions. He's now number 12 in the world. He's had an outstanding season. And tonight will be his second Super Grand Prix. He was 10th last year in the Riyadh playoffs with Bon Ami, as she's officially known. Abdel Said, the first to enter the Walk of Champions.
Victorious in Mexico City, qualified on Chaco's Girl Star, finalist of the Olympic Games individual competition in 2024.
Leg 2, we went across to the west of the globe, to Mexico City, to Campo Marte. Mars, the god of war, which lent its name to the stadium in Mexico City, and it was a real battlefield that this man triumphed within. Emanuele Camilli won his first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. He's the second to enter the Walk of Champions. He won't ride Chaco's Girl Star that won in Mexico tonight. He'll ride Chacarino PS. The second of our champions from Mexico City. We welcome Italy's Emanuele Camilli. It's his first Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix tonight.
Victorious in Shanghai, qualified on Hello Chidora Lady, 2 times Olympic gold medalist.
The next we welcome is the quite extraordinary world number 2. He's one of the best of all time and the winner of leg 3 in Shanghai. He also won in Ramator Saint-Tropez. We welcome in Great Britain's Scott Brash. World number 2 makes his 3rd participation tonight in a Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. 7th in 2018, 5th in 2021. Scott Brash, one of the favourites tonight for victory, having had the 2 Grand Prix wins with us this year in Shanghai and in Ramator Saint-Tropez, both with his ride tonight, Hello Chidora Lady. Good luck tonight to Scott Brash, the 3rd of our champions.
He was victorious in Madrid, qualified on Anastasia as bronze.
The next we welcome is one of the great names of world show jumping over many decades now. He's 50 years of age this time. It's his first time in a Super Grand Prix tonight. He's won Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in the past, but they were prior to the invention of the Super Grand Prix in 2018. We welcome in the great German Marco Kutscher. He's the 4th into the Walk of Champions tonight, having won in Madrid with Aventador S. He'll actually ride Catelli tonight in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Good luck to Marco Kutscher in his first ride in the biggest Grand Prix in world show jumping this evening.
Qualified rider was victorious in Cannes, qualified on Monaco. He is silver medalist from the World Championship in
The next jump, he had an outstanding season, and this win in Cannes was his very first on the Longines Global Champions Tour after a string of second places. He then went on to win 2 more Grand Prix. 3 Grand Prix wins for this man this year with us on the Longines Global Champions Tour, and second in the season's championships. It is Harry Smolders. Much fancy tonight for the win. His ride will be his outstanding partner, Monaco, at 16 years of age. It is Harry's 5th participation in the Super Grand Prix this evening. He's twice been 5th, both times with Monaco, 2023 and 2022. 3 Grand Prix wins this year. He has more than earned his place in the Walk of Champions. Harry Smolders for the Netherlands with Monaco. The next we welcome, he's had an outstanding year, and we welcome Jérôme Curie. And Jérôme Curie, Vice World Champion. His 2 best horses are sidelined with injuries. That's Great Britain, the 5th, and Killer Queen, so he'll ride his other 3rd string, Caracalis Elite, tonight. We welcome in Jérôme Curie. Had a string of superb places this year. 3rd in Mexico City, 5th at Ramator Saint-Tropez. And it will be Jérôme Curie's 2nd to start in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. He was 15th in 2019 with his wonderful narrow-side Quel Homme de Us.
Victorious from Paris, qualified on Hermitage Colony.
The next to come, well, this man's been the sensation of the entire Longines Global Champions season, because he is the brand new season's champion, the youngest ever to win the season's championship. And if he was to win tonight, he'll match Ben Mayer's achievement as the season champion becomes a Super Grand Prix winner. We welcome in Gilles Thomas, this extraordinary young man from Belgium. He really is very much legendary. 27 years of age, world number 5 his year. He won in Paris with Hermitage Cologne. He won in New York with Qualifiers Dien. Second in Shanghai, 4th in Ramator Saint-Tropez, 3rd in Valkenswaard, 2nd in Rome and 3rd in Riyadh. He's the hottest property on the world show jumping scene. Gilles Thomas, we welcome. It's his 2nd Super Grand Prix, and he was 2nd last year in Riyadh.
Representing France, Prague, please welcome Simon Delestre.
This man surprisingly makes his very first Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix start tonight. It is Simon Delestre, we welcome. Winner of the Grand Prix du Prince de Monaco with his wonderful Cayman Jolly Jumper. He's one of the hot favourites again for the win tonight. He'll ride Cayman Jolly Jumper this evening. It is France's Simon Delestre. The next in, then we'll welcome tonight for his maiden Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix.
Rider that gained victory in London, qualified on checkered 47, Olympic champion 2024.
This man has got an extraordinary record, and we wait for his huge eruption tonight on the Super Grand Prix stage. It is his 4th start in a Super Grand Prix tonight. It is Germany's world number 4 and Olympic champion Christian Kuckuck. We welcome forward. Christian has won 4 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix to date. Twice in 2023, last year in Madrid, and this year the win in London to qualify him for his 4th Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix tonight in the Czech capital Prague. He'll ride to George, who was the GCL Horse of the Year at the award ceremony earlier this week. Yet to win a Super Grand Prix, could this be his night?
Qualified from Valkenswaard on Katanga van Dingeshof, current European champion.
The next to come, this man qualified with an outstanding 2nd behind Harry and Monaco at Valkenswaard. His 3rd start in a Super Grand Prix, having been 11th in 2018 and 9th last year. It is the powerful Belgian Nicola Philippaerts. Has got an outstanding mare tonight. She'll be very hard to beat against the clock. Katanga van Dingeshof will start for Nicola Philippaerts. Qualified in Valkenswaard in 2nd place because Harry Smolders has already earned his golden tickets. He's won 3 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, Mexico City last year, and both Cascais and Chantilly in 2018. Watch out for the mare. She is very quick. Katanga van Dingeshof and Nicola Philippaerts. The next to come, he won his maiden Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix this year with the win that secured his golden ticket. That was at home at Riesenbeck. He won the Aachen Grand Prix in 2022, and Gerrit Nieberg's got a brilliant young horse in Ping Pong Van Lontemel, and his first Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix tonight. It is Gerrit Nieberg for Germany, 32 years of age. Son of Lars Nieberg, legendary German event show jumper. His motto, winners do not doubt, doubters do not win. Wonderful horse, wonderful horseman. First timers tonight, we wait and see. This young man went his very first Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in New York, and it was outstanding. 2nd place in behind Gilles Thomas to claim his golden ticket. It will be his first Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix tonight. He's only 24 years of age. We welcome in Thibaut Philippaerts. He's the 2nd youngest tonight because of Anastasia Nielsen being even younger. good luck to Thibaut. It's a huge night for him tonight. His first Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix lies awaiting him. We're less than 2 hours away from the start time of 10:08 p.m. here, local time in Prague.
He was victorious in Vienna.
This man had an outstanding leg in front of Schönbrunn Palace in Vienna, the Austrian capital. Philipp Weishaupt, the next we will welcome in. It is Philipp's second participation in a Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix, having been 16th in 2023. And his right side, actually a horse that his brother normally rides, it is Kokomo beef Philipp Weishaupt. The German comes forward, and of course he's got interest this weekend because Riesenbeck International, his team, qualified for tomorrow night's GCL Super Cup final. Philipp Weishaupt, the next into the Walk of Champions. Philipp won at the Doha Grand Prix in 2023. He won in Cascais back in 2012 with Leoville the second. That was his first win on the tour.
French champion from 2013, winner of the Nations Cup from 2018. Ladies and gentlemen,
the next we welcome Gregory Cotard had an outstanding fourth place in the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Rome. That fourth place was good enough to qualify because Harry Smolders, who won, already qualified. Gilles Thomas, second, already qualified. Now, Michael van der Vleuten was third, but he was not fit to compete this week. A so the golden ticket went to Gregory Cotard. He'll ride his outstanding mare, Coquin Duval, who won him his first five-star Grand Prix in Bordeaux in 2023. Gregory Cotard, the next in the Walk of Champions. Good luck to the Frenchman. The second for France this evening in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. The 7th edition, that will start at 8:10 tonight.
Victorious in Rabat, qualified on action.
Well, this young lady, it's been a year of the young on the Longines Global Champions Tour with the youngest season champion, Gilles Thomas, and this lady was the youngest ever winner of a Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix, winning in Rabat. We welcome at 19 years of age, it's Anastasia Nielsen on the biggest stage. What a night for her. Of course, it's her first Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix start tonight. And her ride will be the horse that won in Rabat. It's Action Man. Anastasia Nielsen trains with Cameron Handley. Swiss-born. Rides now for the Principality of Monaco. Good luck to her this evening on what will be her biggest night in her career. Changed to Monaco's nationality in 2018. So the greatest riders in world show jumping complete the Walk of Champions to assemble the lineup for tonight's 7th edition of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Here they are, young and old. Battle will commence at 8:10. It is going to be epic. 7 first-timers, Harry Smolders, and his 5th Super Grand Prix, and that man in the picture tries to do the double. Season champion, Super Grand Prix winner that Ben Mayer did in 2019. That man, Scott Brash, tries to win his first Super Grand Prix. Battle is brewing.
That will battle for the wonderful trophy in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. And it is the final opportunity to take a group picture of all the 15 finalists. So if you can get close to the trophy,
1.25 million is the prize purse, and a quarter of that will go to our champion this evening, €300,000. The first round starting at 20:10 hours, the second round at 22:15 hours this evening. It's going to be a sensational night. I'll be commentating tonight with James Fisher. And it's going to be one of those nights you do not forget, whether watching, commentating, or particularly, of course, participating. As we look at the 7th winner of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix, the biggest Grand Prix in world show jumping for that trophy. The crowd was already packed here this afternoon. It's going to swell. It's going to get even bigger tonight. There will not be a spare seat in this O2 Arena. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. And we can't wait for what this evening holds in store, because we've had a week of surprises, a week of great drama. And this is the penultimate act ahead of tomorrow's GCL Super Cup final. The Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix takes centre stage at 8:10 local time here tonight in Prague. Good luck to these 15 riders. Good luck to Gilles Thomas, to Jérôme Curie, Scott Brash, Emanuele Camilli, the Italian. Out to side, Harry Smolders after 3 Grand Prix wins. Mark Kuchar back on the biggest of stages. Christian Kuckert, Philipp Weissau for Germany, the pair. Simon Delestre for France, and Thibaut Philipparts, the second youngest of the field for Belgium. What kind of a test will Uliana Vetsani set tonight? We wait and see, because 1.65 m is the max dimension. We're up 5 centimeters bigger than the standard max height at 160. It will be an enormous course to test the very best in the world tonight for the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Until 8:10 p.m. local time, we'll see you then for the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Good night. The Walk of Champions complete. We'll see you later.
That is our first look at the 15 competitors that will be competing tonight in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. The 15 golden ticket winners from the start of the season through to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia in Riyadh on the 16th and final stage. That is who comes into the O2 Arena tonight. But the big conversation is not just about who is here, but how it is going to be ridden as well. Because, much like in the GCL Super Cup, the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix is different in format. Let's take a minute to explain to you what is going to be different tonight to what you see on a normal stage. The Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix is worth 1.25 million euros. And it features all 15 golden ticket winners from the 2025 championship season. This LGCT Super Grand Prix is held over 2 rounds, and it has no jump off. The penalties over both rounds are added, and in case of a tie, the time in the second round will be decisive. The starting order for the first round is done by a computer, but the best rider for that first round will be last to go in the second round. Let the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix begin. Now, what better way to talk about the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix than to introduce the inaugural winner of this competition, one of the most decorated riders in the world, a rider that has been everywhere and won everything. We welcome Edwina Tops-Alexander into the studio. How recent does that inaugural win feel? Does it feel like it was just the other day? Or does it feel like the time has gone by?
A lot's happened in that time, to be honest. Looking back on it, it does seem like a while ago, but I never forget that moment when I wasn't sure if I won or not.
How scary was it? Because it was something that was completely different. It was the very first time that we had experienced it.
Yeah.
Now maybe we feel like it's quite common and quite regular, but in that particular moment in the sport, it must have felt like a huge innovation that was being unfolded in front of everyone's eyes.
Yeah, like it was, it's a unique competition. It's a special competition. It's a one-off competition. It's a competition that you have to be prepared for. You have to be very consistent throughout the year to win one of the legs. And it's a very, very tough course. It's tougher here, for sure, in this indoor than it is in Riyadh. And I think that's what makes it extremely exciting, you know.
So we go from the 160 to the 165. We go from 1 round and a jump off to 2 full rounds.
Yeah.
Try and give us some perspective on just how big a difference are those things, because to someone who might not know, 160 to 165 doesn't sound so big. 1 round and a jump off to 2 rounds doesn't sound so big. How important and how significant are those adaptations to a LGCT Super Grand Prix?
Yeah, I mean, obviously time is important, so you don't want to have a time fault, so you've got a little bit of pressure there. It depends a little bit how he's building. It depends on the lines, how the lines are riding, on your horse's stride. But it's 2 full rounds, 2 big rounds, and I know the year I won there was I was a clear in a 4 and faster, just a bit faster than Ludger. So double clears pretty much on the podium. That's generally how it's looked over the years. So which generally tells you that it's very tough.
I asked Gilles Thomas this question earlier, that is it realistic to have a fence down and still win? Because let's talk about a clear and 4 or double clear, because in a normal week, everyone expects the double clear to give you the title.
Yeah.
When you're jumping this 165 over 2 rounds, Edwina, it's very challenging, it's very difficult.
Yeah.
Are the riders maybe afforded a fence? Can you win this on a 4 and clear? Can you win this on a 4 and 4 if it's a tough night? It changes the expectation and the outcome, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, for sure. And look, it depends how he's building. And it depends how the course is riding, and it depends how good combinations you've got as well. You know, I know that year when I was in, and I was there was only 2 of us clear, which was Harry and myself, and I didn't know at that time who was ahead of me for the 2nd round, and it was Ludger, and I had 1 down halfway around the course, and I had to go so fast and change completely my plan. So there's a lot of things that you have to think of very, very quick. The fences here especially come up very fast, so you need to have your horse very well in gear. It's a good ring to be able to ride and get a little bit of rounds up your sleeve before you come into this competition, I have to say. But really a lot depends on how he's building and how it fits to your horse. But I always say the best combinations are the ones that can adjust their horse very easily, whether it's long strides, short strides. So it really depends.
That ability to adapt is going to be crucial tonight. And the interesting question is, of these riders, who then is going to have the ability, as Edwina points out, being so crucial to be able to deal with what is being set up by Uliana Vizzani tonight. We are here with the inaugural Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix winner in Edwina Tops Alexander. Let's reflect on those riders that have won this competition dating back to 2018, with Edwina taking that very first title. She mentioned the names of Ludger Beerbaum, Harry Smolders, some incredible names that have competed here in years gone by. Ben Mayer winning in the following year, Henrik von Ackermann, Daniel Deusser and Julian Eppayard. Wasn't that an outstanding year as well? And most recently, Victor Bettendorf winning in 2024. Those are the previous winners of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. The question now becomes, who then is going to add their name to this list? One of the exciting names that find themselves on the start list is in fact the new ever youngest Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix winner, in Anastasia Nielsen, having won back in Rabat a few stages ago. We took some time to meet up with the youngest ever LGCT Grand Prix winner.
Honestly, I'm actually super calm. I'm very excited to ride it. It's a huge thing, but I think it's going to be amazing. It's going to be an amazing experience, and I'm going to take so much from this. I'm going to learn, and hopefully there will be many more.
What are the main things that Cameron Hanley has said to you ahead of this week and ahead of the LGCT Super Grand Prix in terms of how you approach it?
I don't think much different than when I usually have to ride a big Grand Prix. We stay calm and focused and just do what we have to do, try our best, and in the end we have to enjoy it.
So just go back to Rabat for a second, when you won the LGCT Grand Prix there this season on Action Man, who you ride today. Your plan in the jump off that day was to go steady and go clear and see what else happened. Is that going to be the plan today in the LGCT Super Grand Prix over the 2 rounds? Don't worry about the time, just go as clear as you can.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, also make sure you make the time allowed. You don't want to have time faults, but it's a quite new level for my horse. It's actually Action Man's only 3rd time in the meter 60s, so he's actually very new to it, and it's probably his only 2nd ever show in an indoor, so he's really stepping up, but I think we can be really happy and try to do our best.
Is it fair to say that you and Action Man are fairly similar in personality, both relatively new to this, but you seem to take absolutely everything in your stride?
Yeah, I mean, he's adorable. He wants to do best. He really wants to do everything that I ask him. And even when I make a mistake, he tries everything to fix it. Even though, as you say, he doesn't have the experience, he has the heart and the mind and the quality for it.
Your mum, Marina, is here watching. Your friends are in town in Prague to enjoy this spectacle as well. How important is that to you, having friends and family around you to support you on the most magical night of your career so far?
It means the world to me. I also have my stable manager, Risa, here. She does everything at home for me. She makes sure, along with my riders and grooms, that everything is right. And then having my mom here is always the biggest support. I feel very confident around her. And then obviously having Cameron here and my friends, it's unbelievable. They're so supportive, and I'm so grateful that they are, and they're really standing behind me, and that makes it so much more special when you come out of the ring and you see those people and they're just smiling and you know you just done it right.
What's a realistic expectation for you tonight?
Honestly, I don't have expectations because, as we saw yesterday, a lot can happen in that indoor. But I think if I am happy with how I rode and my horse jumped well, I think that is the expectation. I think to just be grateful to already be here and to do this, and to do many more.
The young, talented Anastasia Nielsen will be fourth to go on Action Man after going on to win her golden ticket back in Rabat a few stages ago. Let's show you what the full lineup looks like. Still alongside Edwina Tops-Alexander. And we want to try and work out who on the start list, and it's so difficult to tell, we know, who on the start list maybe edges it out as a potential favorite, dare I say, Edwina. A lot of people excited about Harry Smolders in Monaco, but Scott Brash is in this list. Gilles Thomas has had an outstanding year as well. Tell me, on that paper, on that list, who for you in this particular moment starts to look quite dangerous?
Look, I mean, you've got incredible riders there. A lot depends on how this course is. I haven't walked it, so they're all totally different types of horses we've got in there. So it depends a bit on how the course is riding. I think Gilles, I mean, a phenomenal rider. He's early to go. That's not a bad thing because you kind of then make your own decision and focus on what you're doing. He's definitely a hot favorite. Christian Cook, okay, of course, but he's in the beginning. That's tough call. Of course, Scott's amazing. Anastasia, she's going to be a new situation for her, but amazing, very impressive of what she's achieved, and she's really come a long way. Abdel's horse, I think it was out for a while, but is back. It looked pretty good the other day, and she's a very scopy, careful horse. I don't know Gregory's horse terribly well. Look, Simon can do anything. I don't know. I don't know if we're.
And this is the joy of it. This is the joy of it. But now repeat that. You don't know if we'll see a double clear tonight.
I don't know why. I don't know, and I haven't walked it, so it's hard for me to say. But it's looking.
What makes that exciting is that there'll be oohs and ahs from those in attendance here when a fence goes down. And what makes that exciting, if it were to be true, is that even as the riders, if a fence goes down, you're still alive. You're still in it, and that extends.
And then you've got to watch
the excitement,
your time.
and then the timing becomes crucial as well. So there are so many different factors to look at here. What would your advice be to the 7, by the way? 7, which is half the field, making a debut tonight. Only 8 of the 15 have competed in an LGCT Super Grand Prix. So the 7 that have never been here, what is Edwina Tops-Alexander's advice as to what's going to come? What are they facing in the next hour or two?
Look, honestly,
the biggest challenge of their life.
One of the biggest challenges. One of the most exciting challenges. I'd have to say, just try to imagine you're just jumping another 165 Grand Prix and focus. And that's the most important thing. You know, don't try to get yourself in another state of mind, and just do what you know what's best to do for your horse, and do the lines that you've decided that that's your program and that's what you want to do, and worry about yourself. Don't worry about the rest.
Stay calm and stay focused. Some golden advice from Edwina Tops-Alexander, a former winner here in Prague a few years back. now suggesting that perhaps a calm mind is going to be a real factor when it comes to tonight's Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Let's go upstairs to the commentary box. James Fisher, Ed Holloway standing by for us. Gents, I'm getting some wonderful thoughts here from Edwina Tops-Alexander. Excited to hear yours. We've tried to unpack the start list a little bit. A lot of talk around how difficult it is to pick out someone who looks really strong here. Welcome to the show. Talk about who you feel looks good on the start list, fellas.
Wonderful 7th edition of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Myself and James Fisher, we've looked at the 15 starters. We're both going to pick out a few that we like. James, what's your first pick of a real contender?
I actually fancy the first three are very strong. Christian Kukuk, Scott Brash, Gilles Thomas says three really top. It'll give an indication on the course. Monaco, you can't ignore, he's last to go. And that's been fantastic this year, you know. I mean, that's the out favourite, but there's so many good horses in it. But the first three, I like Shadora Lady, Scott Brash. He saved it for this. It's difficult, a little bit hot, but if he gets clear, he's really
we're both British, James, but I like Scott Brash's chances. I mean, he's world number 2. He's had an outstanding season. He's won 2 Longines Global Champions of Grand Prix with Shadora Lady. He's flying. She's a very quick mare.
I know.
And I think she's one of the hot favourites, certainly. Gilles Thomas, my only reservation is the horse is 9. It's a 1m60. So with Callisto, yes. I guess so with Gilles Thomas, but that is my one reservation.
Yeah, it's a class horse. Gilles in fantastic form, Bride of the Year. He's brilliant.
And the other point,
talk about hot, Katanga, Nicola Philipparts. I like that mare. She's 15. She's seasoned difficult. I would love to see her do well.
And back to Callisto, we had a 9-year-old actually that won last year with Foxy de la Roque and Victor Bettendorf, so we know a 9-year-old can win the Super Grand Prix. So again, maybe my reservation has no grounding.
When they're exceptionally good like that, they're going to win. And the Callisto is class.
And then looking further down the list, we've got Simon de Lestre. That's Cayman Jolly Jumper. Outstanding horse. Again, not dissimilar in type to Shadora Lady. You must again think that is quite a realistic winner.
Yeah, a little bit unconventional in the way it goes. I think the course will suit it. This is big, is difficult as expected. And yeah, for sure, Simon will go well. He's well driven up tonight.
And of course, the most hyped combination, Harry Smolders has had 3 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix wins in Monaco this year alone. They broke their duck. They must be the standout favourites, I would imagine. What's your opinion on that, James?
Absolutely, it's one of the horses of the year. It's a very universal horse. It's good outdoors, good indoors. Harry's a master, you know, at getting results, and he would be the favourite tonight.
And James, a word please about the course of Ilana Vettani for the first round of the. What do you make of the massive challenge?
I did ask him what's the most difficult fence. He said not the first, and that was it. He left it. But I walked it. It's difficult as expected. Some tricky lines. There's a plank there that's plain red. That's going to draw them in. The biggest part of the whole course, 165, is the third part of the triple combination. It's up to my eyes. I'm not massive at all, but it's big. It's tricky. I think he's got it right for the 15 that's in it.
And my last question, in your expert opinion, James, 15 starts in the first round. How many clear rounds do you think?
In the first round, I think it's very difficult, isn't it? You'd like to see sort of 5.
I think 5.
You would like to see. It's difficult. I see. First 3 will give us a really good indication, but there's space between the fences. Not quite as tricky as last night, but it's difficult. You know, it's one of the biggest tracks you can ever walk. Let's put it that way. But last night was exceptional. Tonight it's big, but a little bit of fairness in there, I think.
So, Mark, that's the commentator's perspective. We're in for a brilliant night, and we can't wait to deliver it.
We are excited to hear the action. Thank you very much to James Fisher, Ed Holloway. They'll be carrying you through tonight's Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. The first round coming up shortly. And then, as we said, there is a change in format. This is not a normal Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. There is not a jump-off to follow. There is a whole second round still to come later on tonight. 2 Philipparts brothers competing in tonight's Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix as Thibaut Philipparts, the young under-25 sensation, makes his first appearance at the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Nicolas Philipparts has been here before, but he will jump alongside his brother. How fitting that Olivier, brother, and Ludo, father, are here tonight to support the family. Dan Strange catches up with the Philipparts. Dan.
Thanks, Mark. I'm in the arena. I'm down by the 13th fence, and I've picked out two people who have very much got a family connection within this LGCT Super Grand Prix, Olivier and Ludo Philipparts. Olivier, I'll start with you. You've had a look round, you've had a walk. We know it's going to be big. Technically, how's this walked?
Technical, very strong as well. I mean, it's big verticals, wide oxes, very square oxes. It's as big as we imagined it would be.
Ludo, what's been your advice to your two sons that are riding in this evening? What's been your words of advice to them?
Well, I think that they have to try to do it quietly, not too quick, and take the time for every fence. There's quite a small arena here, and the fences are coming very quick. The fences are very big, but that we knew before. So I think that they have to start in a good balance, but don't go too quick, I think, today.
You know the horses in terms of Nicola, in terms of Thibaut, you know the riders very well as well. Who will this arena suit more, Olivier, in your view?
It's always hard to say. I do think Nicola's horse has easily one stride more in this arena, so in some lines it will be an advantage. Maybe second round, when the time comes in action, might be different, but the first round, I'd say for him is quite a good course. But like I'm saying, the 15 best riders of the whole season are competing here, so they're all strong one by one.
Thank you so much, you both, for your time. Good luck and try and enjoy it this evening. Thank you both. Mark, back to you. The Philipparts have two chances to win this LGCT Super Grand Prix. Let's see if either of them can at least get on the podium.
Let's not forget that Ludo Philipparts, the first ever winner on the Longines Global Champions Tour, with a title in under his belt. And now all these years later, here he is watching his incredible sons perform. He's watched Olivier Philipparts win the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix. He's watched Nicola Philipparts come through to the O2 Arena here in Prague to compete in this incredible Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix on numerous occasions. And now tonight, he will get to watch Thibaut Philipparts, the younger of the three boys, make his debut at the O2 Arena. A very proud moment, regardless of what happens at the end of the night, regardless of what the score sheet says. Tonight will be a night that Ludo Philipparts and the entire Philipparts family back in Belgium will recall very, very fondly in many, many years to come. A lot of people are talking about Harry Smolders. A lot of people are talking about Monaco. This is the combination that won multiple Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix this season. He has been here before, more than any other rider on the start list. He has competed in 5 LGCT Super Grand Prix in his career, and he goes last in the first round. Is this Harry Smolders' title to lose? We took some time to catch up with him and the incredible Monaco.
I'm Harry Smolders, and this is Monaco. He's very clear in his communication, in what he wants. He likes to nap in the morning, he likes to save his energy, but he also really loves the attention. He likes the adrenaline at the shows. He's a real competitor. And when the lorry leaves without him, he's not happy. He's very smart in that way, and then he's also totally relaxed when he can flat out and sleep in his box, rest, and saves his energy for the moment it has to happen. And he knows when the game is on. He's always sharp, and it's my duty to keep him focused, to get him focused, and with the right energy level. But then once he stands in front of the ring, and then his eyes lighting up, and then he enters the ring and he feels the crowd and and then his adrenaline comes up and he performs on his best. During the LCT of Rome, I tried him in the area. I straight away liked him. I don't know, I felt something, but I never could predict a career like this, of course. And but I always had the belief, and we kept going. And then with Evergates as a partner, we had the possibility to grow and to build our partnership, and it's a very special bond. I think he had the best season ever in the Global Champions Tour with 3 wins, and I think he was many times second, but we never won one, so the first one in Cannes was really special. But I also must say the quality of him also is like he's very coachable, and along his career he's only getting better and better. And like this year also he's so efficient and still improving. And what makes him so special is that he's still, every show is like a new show for him. He's so interested, so motivated, and yeah, that makes him and his career very, very special. The legacy, I think, yeah, it's the communication and the bond between the rider and the horse that makes, I think, very special with him. The way we warm up, people behind the scenes sees that a lot, and I think that is very, very much appreciated. At the moment, he tells us that his body is not longer can do this kind of level. I'm the first one who will step back with him. I mean, he decide himself what his career gonna look like the rest of in the next year coming up. I did a few times here in Prague with him, and he always jumped very, very well. So he likes the arena, he likes the crowd, he likes the fences. Let's hope tomorrow it's our day. Like even the grooms and other riders, he will always go around and try to get a snack from other grooms as well. So everybody loves Monaco, and I think that's why he has a lot of his fan base is quite big. He's one of a kind. I'm Harry Smolders, and this is Monaco. Wait, one more time.
One of the most exciting combinations in the lineup tonight, Harry Smolders and Monaco. A few moments ago, Dan Strange caught up with Max Weishout to get some thoughts on the course that has been designed by Uliano Vezzani. Let's hear the thoughts of the German, who will watch his brother jump tonight.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark. I'm in the arena. I've managed to grab Max Weishout, who, of course, his brother Philip is in the LGCT Super Grand Prix. His great friend Christian Kuckuck as well, and his horse, Kokomo. Firstly, we're going to talk about fence 8 to 9 and the line in a moment. But firstly, how confident are you for your brother and, of course, for Kokomo as well?
Yeah, okay. If you walk this course, nobody's really comfortable because it's really challenging, I think. Yeah, Philip says the horse feels good, he feels good. I think they can do that.
Your uncle owns the horse, of course. If we just look back at fence 8, it's a massive, massive fence and a nice, delicate plank on top. Explain how that makes it technical for the riders.
Yeah, the plank is really big. But as we saw yesterday, they jumped it pretty good yesterday. I think it's not going to be the biggest problem of the course. We have a nice line afterwards, where most riders, I think, are going to do 6 strides from this plank to the Oxer. Maybe if you have a little bit of a small stride, you go out and make 7. But also the Oxer is pretty wide and pretty big, so you need to have a little rhythm. My brother for sure is going to do 6 strides with Kokomo.
It's been a trend of this arena because it's relatively compact, and the way Uliano's using all the space, that balance really comes into play. Kokomo's, only 9 years of age. How do you think he will cope with the way that Uliano's set up tonight?
Yeah, we see. He never jumped in an arena like this, to be honest, and never jumped a course like this. But okay, with my brother on, everything's possible, so we see what happens.
Well, Max, you've been jumping fabulously yourself. Good luck to Philip tonight. Thank you for your time. Mark, it's a brilliant course out here, compact in terms of the lines, but big in terms of the jumps, as we'd expect. It's a really exciting time, and we're just minutes away now from seeing the first rider, Christian Kuckuck, in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Back to you in the studio.
It is going to be a magical night. There's no denying that. Dan Strange, Max Weishout, thank you very much for your thoughts and perspective. As you can see, the lights behind me have now been dimmed. The atmosphere is now starting to build up for the first rider to come into the ring, to open up those gates and kickstart the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the biggest individual night of the show jumping year. 1.25 million euros on the line. And like we said at the top of the show, a shot at immortality. The 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix is next.
Tonight is one of the most coveted crowns in global sport. It is a massive occasion. Welcome to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix at the GC Prague Playoffs 2025. The prize purse is enormous. 1.25 million euro is the winner's purse in total. 300,000 euro will go to our champion. Everybody that starts tonight has had a wonderful result in a Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix this year to win a golden ticket to tonight's Super Grand Prix. We have had 6 former champions, and tonight it will be Abdul Said. He won leg 1. That was in Doha with Bon Ami. Emmanuel Camilli won leg 2 in Mexico City to claim golden ticket number 2. Then Scott Brash, world number 2, struck gold in Shanghai. Marco Kuchar won leg 4 in Madrid, the great veteran German. Then Harry Smolders won the leg in Cannes. He won 3 Grand Prix this year with Monaco, one of the favourites. Jérôme Guéry, outstanding in Mexico City, and he claimed a golden ticket. Gilles Thomas was the season champion. He won in Paris, he won in New York. And Simon Delestre, he won in Monaco with Cayman Jolly Jumper. One of the most impressive combinations tonight. Christian Kukuk won a brilliant jump off. He excelled in London to win his ticket. And Nicola Philippons was second in Valkenswaard, one of the favourites again with Katanga, Van Het Dingershof. Gerrit Nieberg won his first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in Riesenbeck. And Thibaut Philippons was second, his very first ever Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in New York. And Philipp Weishaupt won in Vienna. That was with Kilmister to claim again his golden ticket to the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. And this man, he was 4th. That was in Cannes, and Gregory Cotard lines up. This lady was the youngest ever winner of a Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix at 19. Won in Rabat. And that is Anastasia Nielsen, youngest ever, I think, to start in a Super Grand Prix. She'll be underway tonight. It is a competition over 2 rounds. It's the 7th edition of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix at the GC Prague Playoffs. This is the 14,000 capacity O2 Arena. And these are the former nations that have won the Super Grand Prix. Luxembourg winning last time. Monaco coming, of course, tonight for Anastasia Nielsen. And our crowds had a wonderful day. Last night, the GCL Super Cup semi-final was a classic showdown, but this is the individual highlights. These are the former champions. Edwina Thompson-Alexander won the inaugural edition back in 2018. Ben Mayer was the season champion and won the Super Grand Prix the year after. Henrik von Eckermann won it in 2021 for Sweden. Daniel Deusser struck the title in 2022. Gilles Thomas was the last winner here in Prague. That was with Dubai du Centre 2023, because last year we went to Riyadh and Victor Bedendorf won there with Foxy de la Roque. At 9 years of age, she was the mare. So we know that young horses can win this Super Grand Prix. And of course, that is important tonight with Gilles Thomas on a 9-year-old. Colista Dien will be the young Masters horse for the Super Grand Prix tonight. And this is the course set by Ilona Vetsani. It's a monster track, as you would well expect for this biggest Grand Prix in world show jumping. They'll start up over the opening fence. The windows vertical is fence 155 tall, so 10 centimeters shy of the max height available to the Italian master. It's a big right-hander down to an enormous oxer. It's plumb square, 150 square. The airbank oxer at 2. Oxers coming out of the turn, 180 degrees, back to a very skinny Prague. Oxer fence 3 looks very airy and flimsy. They then run down on 5 strides, the first of the combinations. It is the lamps and statues for A and B. 160 max height entering, 1 stride in the middle, 8 meters and 20 it walks, and 4B is a huge oxer leaving, 155 by 160. The difficult element there is it's right into the face of the in-gate. They then whip left-handed, and it's an enormous vertical and a plank to add to the difficulty. The E15 plank is at 5. It's 160 tall. Down the VIP side, it's then 3 strides on landing. Down to the houses, that is fence number 6, over water, 155 by 160. Not any distance at all to run to the clock vertical. It's enormous at 160, fence number 7. Verticals coming then back to back, because this is the plank, the coins at 160, fence number 8. Right-handed to the skinny, the GC Oxer, 155 by 160. The Longines Global Champions Tour Oxer away from in-gate, that suck-back effect. We well know 155 by 160. And then right-handed into the Mucha Liverpool pink vertical over the water, fence 11. Will lead them then down. Finally, they get this last line. The treble comes bruisingly late. The Longines treble, 12A, 155, 160 its width, entering 11 meters and 50 on landing, so 2 strides for the horse. 12B is enormous, a tall vertical, and vertical out is always testing at the end of the course when horses just flapping their stride. And it's 1 stride on landing here, 8 meters and 40, so a very forward stride. So the max height vertical 12C is also 160. And the final fence when energy is getting sapped is the Aston Martin Oxer. Beautiful green, raw green of Aston Martin, 155 by 160. We'll bring them across the finish line. That is the first round. It's a competition over 2 rounds, not a traditional first round and jump off. Everybody will start round 2 unless they're eliminated or retired. And Ilan Nevetsani, our master. James Fisher is alongside me. James, good evening.
Hi, Ed.
The house is packed, 14,000 or so people. It is a huge class tonight. What are your impressions?
That's amazing. It is. There's not many nights you get like this, show jumping at its best. And yeah, Ulya Vasan has set another monster track. It sort of really does fit the 15 riders here. Hopefully we get, you know, like 4 or 5 clears, but when you walk it can't be a lot bigger. Nice lines. I think it's going to ride nicely. Highest fence on the course is the C part of the triple combination. That's 165. On the actual course plan it says 160, but that's up to my eyes there. So I think the number 3, the Prague Brown Oxer, and the 5 strides to that double, that's a difficult one on the 5. So yeah, as always, anybody can have a fence, but it's tough, but it's just an amazing atmosphere. They're going to love it in this arena.
These are the 15 we will welcome into the first round of tonight's Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. The world number 4, Christian Kukuk, yet to win this class will be our trailblazer with Chajorge, GCL Horse of the Year. Then comes the world number 2 and 2nd, Scott Brash. He's won 2 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix this year. Hello Chadora Lady will fly the British flag. Ben Mayer won it in 2019 for Great Britain. Then the season champion, Gilles Thomas, again won 2 Grand Prix with us this year. He's one of the hot favourites. His horse, only 9, Qualista. The youngest tonight at 19 is Anastasia Nielsen. Her first Super Grand Prix for Monaco, rides Action Man. Then comes Abdul Said, world number 12 winner this year in Doha, won last year in Doha. Boname's a talented horse. Is Estonian-bred mare, the 5th to start. Then comes Gregory Cotard, the Frenchman. Great mare, Coquin Duval. First of the Tour for France this evening. Then Jérôme Guéry. His top 2 horses injured, so Kareka steps up to the biggest stage. It's number 7 for Belgium. Marco Kutscher back at the highest levels after the win in Madrid. That is Cataly for the great German. Then comes James Fisher, the man alongside his pick for the win tonight, I think, Nicola Philipparts, Katanga. He's won 2 GCL finals, Nicola. Philip Weishaupt makes his 2nd appearance in the Super Grand Prix. That is Kokomo B. And Gerrit Nieberg, a first-timer tonight. That is Ping Pong Vanta Lontamel for Germany. One of the 4th start tonight for Germany. One of the hot favourites, Simon Dalestra. Cayman Jolly Jumper, late start. Then Thibaut Philipparts, 2nd youngest of the field tonight for Belgium. Pitman Van Het Lilleveld. The winner of Mexico comes penultimate to start, Emanuela Camilli. And everybody's favourite, Harry Smolders, comes 3 wins with Monaco this year. Will be the last start of the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. And James, you spent your entire life in show jumping, but I can imagine in view this gets the bristles on your skin.
Yeah, just when you were saying about Harry Smolders, he takes pressure, but it's not easy being favourite and you're last to go and there's expectations, but he is favourite. And looking down at the others, yeah, I mentioned Katanga, but I think that the first 3 in tonight will give us a very good idea. They're 3 fantastic horses, and yeah, this will give an indication how this course is going to ride.
And just to reflect on the horses' ages to come tonight, we have actually two 9-year-olds, Kokoma B, Philip Weishaupt and Chris de Dienne for Gilles Thomas. We've got a group of 10-year-olds that include Saint-Georges, that include Ping Pong, and two more 10-year-olds, Pitman and Chacarino, including both Philip Arts and Emmanuel Camilli. So 4 10-year-olds, 2 9-year-olds, and we are underway in the Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix at the GC Prague Playoffs. Is going to be a stellar evening. 1.25 million euro, the huge prize purse tonight, and 7 first-timers in their first Super Grand Prix this evening. Harry Smolders, the most seasoned in the field. He's been to 4 Super Grand Prix. Prior to this, his 5th participation. The one number 4 will get us into action, 35 years of age, and his 4th participation in the Super Grand Prix. He's never broken actually higher than 10th. He was 10th in 2022, his best finish. Actually came the year after, 9th in 2023. Winner of the Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix of London with Checker 47, and Christian Kukuk has won 4 Longines Global Champions Tour Grand Prix in his illustrious career. Saint-Georges was the GCL Horse of the Year at the award ceremony earlier this week. We're in action, James, and I can't wait.
Nice 7 from 1 to 2, that's pretty standard. Now this is already massive oxer.
Saint-Georges really extends out over that oxer.
5
clean, crisp into the combination.
Yeah, 5 quite open strides there into that double. This is difficult to see. Plain red, 1.60 m. 3 strides.
This is silken smooth from Christian Kukuk, halfway round and clear.
Took the extra one on that turn. That's
the second plank comes at 8. This then the GC skinny at 9, James.
Yeah, 7
strides.
7 strides to that Global Champions oxer. Another big oxer off the ingate. Christian opting for the 8 strides there. That's the short option, and now into this treble combination.
This horse not super experienced. This is a masterclass on a young enough, inexperienced horse. And Christian Kukuk down to the last fence, James Fisher. It's a clear round. Oh, what a brilliant exhibition. Phenomenal.
Yeah, I said that the first 3 is going to give us a really good indication. That's a class horse, class rider. Olympic champion, and he just showed you how to jump a course at 160, 65 with ease. He executed it unbelievably. 6 strides to the last was a little bit longer than I thought.
It is an absolute dream start to the evening as Christian Kukuk and Saint-Georges go clear and set the pace and set the tone for the rest of the field. Scott Brash, hello Chadora Lady, is next in the ring. This is the 2025 Longines Global Champions Tour Super Grand Prix. Sign up for that GCTV Live Pass right now and come and watch us here in the O2 Arena in Prague and see how this 1.25 million euro Grand Prix finally closes.